Okay, so gonna make another video. Gonna try to be brief. I guess the main point of this video, if I don't get to anything else or if I ramble for the rest of it, is if your actions are not matching up with your core values, beliefs, principles, skills, or words, there's a disconnect somewhere. And I think I've probably said it before. I know it's been said to me, or maybe it's just a habit that I taught, or a little trick I taught myself. But they say progress is a slow process, but you can inch it along. So like for me, I've come to this point where I don't like a lot of the choices that I've been making lately. They have not been a direct reflection of who I want to be, where my values lie, the principles upon which I want my life to be built. It's all of this that I've been doing lately, the hyperreactivity and exploding and stuff, is indicative of me tapping back into like pre-therapy behavior, throwing all of my skills and everything out of the window. And so the purpose, what I'm making this for, is to say that one of the tricks that I know I taught myself, now that I'm thinking about it, in therapy. Look how dirty my pants are. Don't judge me. My life is whew right now. But one of the skills that I kind of taught myself was every time I had an opportunity to do different, I would do different. So a long time ago, I had a very bad temper and a very short fuse. So you step on my toe, I'm gonna let you have it. Just from 0 to 100, no in between. You'll be looking like, how did we even get here? And so at one point, I decided I did not want to be like that anymore. And so I started trying to become different. I started doing all of the things to be a different person. You know, people are like, oh no, if that's just who you are, just be that. No, why? I don't want to be attached or latched onto any kind of toxic or unhealthy behavior. Anything that is unhealthy about me, I believe can be changed. Period. Even if it's whatever, even if it's hard, even if it seems impossible, even if it's always been like that, I don't have any of those things. If I am toxic or unhealthy in any way, I'm going to be doing something to make it better. Sometimes I get it and sometimes I don't. I'm human and I'm flawed, and some of the things that I've been doing and saying lately, I'm embarrassed about. So effed up. And so as I was driving, to go get my son, I said, I had to remind myself, Jasmine, remember your skills. And I might need to break out my therapy books when I took like anger management classes and stuff. Every time that I can't remember what the term is for it, but every time that you have the opportunity, I don't know how to say it. What was it? That's what it is. Every time that you choose to remain calm when you could be blowing up, you're literally rewiring your brain to not be reactive anymore. And I know I'm not saying that exactly the right way, but I read this book on like neuroplasticity and all of that, and it's like I know that every time that you have the opportunity to make a different choice, once you make that different choice, it'll be different for the next time. Sorry, I get so distracted so easily, and my neighbor came out the house and I'm like, okay, I hate when people sit up and stare. But yeah, so I had to remind myself as I was driving, like, remember that. And so then, perfect example, like I said, I've been so reactive. I have been cussing people out and snapping on people and everything else, and the energy is coming from different places. I guess I'm going through stuff that I didn't think was affecting me as bad as it really is. So I'm just gonna be silent until my words can match my belief system and who I had started becoming, and until my words are no longer the words of a little girl who doesn't know how to use her adult words, and a little girl who's just being reactive and destructive and dismissive and hateful and everything else that I've been lately because of reactivity, because of overwhelm. I'm just going to be silent. And I hate it because I guess I had spent so much time learning how to communicate what I wanted to communicate in a healthy and a peaceful way. And now I've suffered some traumatic events here lately, and I'm losing my words. It's like I'm losing ground. So instead of reverting, I'm just going to kind of sit here. And so I told one of my friends that I talk to on a very regular basis, I'm going to be more quiet. I'm just going to be more quiet because it seems like every little thing is triggering me, and there's no in between anymore. I used to have an in between my trigger and my reaction. I had time to either take a deep breath, to think about what I was saying or what I was doing. And here lately, there's no in between. There's nothing in the middle. I get triggered, instantly react. Triggered, instantly I'm snapping on you. And I'm just like, how did we get back here? After all of my hard work, are we really about to destroy everything in our path after we worked so hard to? And some of the damage has already been done. I wish I had this come to Jesus self-awareness moment before I did some of the damage, but I'm human. Sometimes you get it, sometimes you don't. And I thank God that I have people around me that are understanding, that are forgiving, that roll with the punches, that kind of know me and know that I'm a work in progress. This is why I'm so heavy on trying to be understanding and forgiving and tolerant to other people's humanity and other people's slip-ups, because I know I have my own. Like I said, most of the time I'm able to be understanding and think about things calmly and come back to a sane kind of decision. But what has been going on for at least the past 2 weeks or less has been insanity. I am embarrassed. I am ashamed. I feel disgusted by myself. I hate who I am right now. This is little girl behavior that I thought I had left behind. And I don't like it. And so instead of continuing to go down a path I know I'm not happy about, I told my friend I'm just going to be silent. I'm going to say less, a lot less, because if what I'm saying is not reflecting what I believe and who I want to be, then I just need to be silent. And that's what I'm choosing to do. And so what I mean when I say that you'll make changes in your life and you'll have opportunities to show your new skills, that's what I'm doing. Because I had just said on my way to get my son, I'm going to say less. I'm going to be more quiet since my reactions have been disproportionate to the events happening. I need to just take some time to be quiet until the words that come out of my mouth are reflective of or indicative of who I actually want to be instead of who I was before. And as I was thinking that, I got a text message and I was instantly triggered. Like, that's how, like I said, it's stuff that I feel like I had put to bed, I had put to rest. These weren't triggers anymore. These were things that I had already let go of. But when you sustain a trauma, your world changes and your viewpoint changes. And like I said, until I can get back to a place where I'm more in touch and more grounded within myself, I just need to shut up. Just shut up. That's what I'm telling myself. Until you can get to, because it doesn't have anything to do with the people who are triggering me. Triggers are mirrors. So if you're triggering me, or if something you're saying is pissing me off and pushing me to reactivity, that still all comes back to me. So in that moment when that person sent that message, I instantly the first thought I had was to pick up my phone and respond back like, nigga, da-da-da-da. And I was like, this is the difference between people who say they want to make changes and people who actually do. If your issue is spending money that you don't have, you can start in the smallest of ways. Or if your issue is you're trying to save, but you're doing things to not do so. When you want that gum in the store, buy a cheaper one or don't buy it at all. Practice some discipline. Practice some self-control. You have to do something different to have different, period. So as much as that little situation, and even the hard part is sometimes it's deserved. Sometimes you feel like it's deserved. So it's like that person that texted me that whatever, I could have convinced myself that it was reasonable and that it was deserved for me to snap back at them. But I made a choice for me to say, I have been entirely too reactive, and I don't like being victim or being pushed and bullied around by the universe like that. I'm bigger than that, and I'm stronger than that, and I'm better than that, than to be reverting back to stuff that I know I worked so hard to get past. So yeah, that's the purpose of what I'm saying. You call yourself wanting to make some kind of change. My issue is that I have a temper and I've been way too reactive. My fuse has gotten really short, and that's not okay. And based on what I'm going through right now, it would be understandable why I'm being so reactive and why I'm so angry and why I'm popping off at everybody around, but that's still not who I want to be. It's not a matter of if the person deserves it or not. It's not a matter of, oh, I'm going through something. I don't want to make excuses for toxic or unhealthy behavior. It's unacceptable. No matter who it is, it's not about them, it's about me. And so every time I have the opportunity where I have to choose between reacting and staying calm, I'm going to choose to stay calm, whether I feel like I'm right, wrong, or whatever else, because my behavior over the past 2 weeks has shown me that I may not be viewing things through the right type of lens right now, because the way that I've been popping off, that's not, like, I'm looking in the mirror like, Jazz, this is not us. What are you doing? I don't want to revert in life, and this feels like a relapse, and I don't want to be this way. So until I can figure out how to get past this or how to not be here, I just need to be silent. And sometimes being silent, it can be your best friend. And the people who love you, care about you, the people in your life who are around the most, they should be understanding and supportive of that. And anybody who asks or who notices a difference, I'll gladly tell them, hey, dang it, I'm just being silent. I'm just being more quiet because my thoughts and my words are not reflecting who I want to be. There is a space in between who you've been and who you want to be that you have to make the choice. That's what people don't talk to you about. There is a space between, okay, this is who I've been for 20 plus years. This is who I'm trying to become. You make the difference. It's not something that's just gonna drop in your lap. Every time you have the opportunity to do something different than you did when your life was messed up, you have to make that choice. So, yeah, that's my little 2 cents. And now I'm going to be quiet because I am going through it. And it's just part of the journey, part of the process, but I am really not liking myself right now. Really not liking the decisions that I've been making. And I'm really hoping to stop it. And hopefully next time I have something traumatic happen, I'll have this come to Jesus, this self-awareness moment, before I've caused as much damage as I've caused. Because I'm like, dang, I hate apologizing. And now I've been so reactive and I've snapped and I've everything else. I gotta go back and apologize. And I hate that. But that's what you gotta do. It's where the little girl becomes the woman. You own up to your shit. It's just something you gotta do. Something I have to do. If you don't want to own up to yours, that's your business. But me, myself, and I, when we go to bed at night, I gotta have peace in my heart. And if I fucked up, I gotta make it better. And I gotta do better going forward. So I'm gonna be silent. Peace and love.